Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining in today's webinar session. Saber Tips, a series of recommendations to work during these days. The idea of this webinar is to help you maintain the efficiency of your agency during, a particular scenario that we are living on. And, and hopefully all these products and topics are going to be useful for your agency. Before we begin, I would like to give you some housekeeping details. First of all lines have been muted. The chat session is already active, so you can ask all of your questions and concerns during the chat, and I will transmit them to our presenter. The session is already being recorded, and we're gonna send this recording to you after the webinar ends, along with additional material from Finder. And at the end of the event, we're going to have a customer satisfaction survey. I advise you to fill the survey. That is very helpful for us to improve our webinars session by session. Well, today's agenda, we're going to talk about Sabre queues, how to keep our reservations on track, automated schedule changes. This is a great tool to facilitate our even exchanges when we have a schedule change from the carrier. Spectras, we're going to talk about a little bit about how to search for our PNRs within our PCC. And we're going to talk about some sales report, right? And we're going to talk about some tips about the sales report, and we're going to show some read ups very useful for this. So before we begin, I would like to introduce myself. I am Leandro Gentile from Campaign Team, and today's presenter is going to be Gema Sanchez. She is an expert from the help desk, and she is an expert in the product. So she will be our guest speaker today. And now I will give you with Gema. Gema, how are you today?
Hello, everyone. Fine. How about yourself, Leandro?
Fine, thank you very much, and thank you for taking your time presenting us today's session, Gema.
Thank you all for taking the time during these days to join us. As Leandro told you before, we will be taking into a few steps, a few topics, and tools that we find that will be easier for you to work nowadays with these tools. This kind of these tips and tools that we are sharing with you guys today is just for we just thought it would be easier would make your life easier. So we just like to share it with you. As Leandro told you before, we will be having at the end of each topic, we will have a few time for questions. Please don't hesitate in asking everything you want. As you might know, I cannot hear you. So if there's something that you need me to repeat, if you want me to explain it again, or if you have any specific concern about it, just let us know through the chat and we'll be letting you know. So let's start with the first topic. Our first topic is queues. I know that most of you are already used to work with this tool. The way I like to explain it is like just pretend that in your desk you have a few boxes. And the PNRs, let's pretend that they are files. We use the queues as if they were the boxes where you would like to place your files. That's like the easiest explanation I can I can think of. And that's the way I think of them. So at the beginning, we have from Q0 to Q49, those are our system queues. That means that actually Saver is naming the queues for you. Why we do that? Because, for example, if it happens a lot with consolidators. For example, if a consolidator, I mean another PCC, wants you to take care of a PNR within the next 24 hours, they need to somehow letting you know that. They use, for example, the queue number 0, that is for urgent 24 hours matters. So let's say that someone else from another PCC wants to take care of this within 24 hours. For example, when you send PNRs to a consolidator for them to issue the ticket. That's why we try to unify the criteria for this, at least the first queues. From 50 to the rest of the queues, you can select what you use those ones for. But in this case, from 0 to 49, those are the ones that are pre-assigned. Another thing that I would like to mention, a queue that is really important that we always recommend to check frequently, is queue number 7. That's when you receive HX status from the carrier, you will be receiving it in that queue. I know that most of what I'm saying right now, you're already used to do that. I just think it will be useful to mention it if some of you guys are not doing it yet. So here at the bottom of, we will be sharing the presentation with you guys. So you can see that here at the bottom, you will find more information about it in Finder. But see, there we go. That's where you can find which queue applies to each specific scenario. And over here, we have just a few formats and how to handle the queues. It's pretty much simple. There are like short formats, easy formats. But anyway, we will be checking an example, we all together. But keep in mind that this material you will have it at hand whenever you need it. So let's just try a few examples. This is like the general menu of queues. Here you can see how many PNRs you have in each specific queue. For example, in Q100, we can see that we have 23 PNRs. In Q9, let's say we have 18. So let's pretend I want to access a queue. So I just go like this. You just do Q slash and the queue number. There are a few things that I would like to mention here. First of all, do you see that you see like a message on top, like a remark? This is what we call a peak code. And you can see that at the beginning it has a number. This number has assigned this description. A frequent question is, how do I know which number is related to each specific description? A fast way to know it is just displaying this in your screen, as you see it here. QI displays this, and you can see the list of all of them. Here we have 7 that it says ticketing agreement, and it's showing here ticketing agreement. There are a lot of them. You can use the one you prefer, but keep in mind that you will always need to select a peak code when you want to queue place a PNR. For example, I have a file, a PNR, that I want to queue place it into a box, a queue, let's say. But I need to know why I'm queuing this. Because let's say I want to queue this PNR because I added some remarks that I want to check later. But if I queue it and then someone else from the agency is trying to know why I queue place that PNR, that's the reason. That's how you specify it, and sometimes it helps as a reminder for yourself on why you send that PNR to that specific queue. That's the first thing I want to tell you. So let's go back to the PNR that we have here. And let's say I'm trying to search, I was searching in queue number 9. I want to search for one specific PNR. That's not the one I'm searching for. So I just do India to ignore, and it automatically shows me the next one, and so on. This is just one example. The most important thing is that when you access a queue, you need to keep in mind that you are into the box. It's like you're searching into the queue. So if you want to perform any other action, let's say I want to search for any other PNR, you will receive messages similar to this because right now you're working on a queue. If you want to work in something else, before doing that, you need to exit the queue. I know that most of you already know those things, but it's just a reminder of the good practices. So once we are out of the queue, we can just keep on working and display availability, PNRs, or any other thing you need. Another thing that I would like to share with you guys about the queues is that we can search for queues and using qualifiers. As you can see here, those are just a few. Here you have the full list. If we had all of the qualifiers, there's going to be like at least 5 slides. So here I'll be showing you a brief example. For example, let's say I send the PNR to queue number 9 and it was with American Airlines. So I don't want to go through all the PNRs that we have there. I just want the queue to display for me the American Airlines files. So as we can see here, we have airline code and we do like this. Access Q9 and we want to add a qualifier. The airport Lima, the Alpha Lima is for airport, for airline, I'm sorry. And here we go like this. So it's showing me all the PNRs that I have in Q9 that has an itinerary with American Airlines. So if we take a look, we can check there were not like 18 as we have in Q9, but it was showing only 2. Another thing that I want to show you here is that if there are no more PNRs in that queue, you will be receiving that message. If there are no more PNRs in that queue, matching your search criteria. Okay, that's it. I would recommend you to check all the qualifiers. It's a good list and it's a good practice for you to search like this. It can help you to find PNRs faster. This is one of the tools we would like to share with you because we think it's make it easier. I know that here we have a lot of qualifiers, but with this helper app, let's say, you can, um, it's like more friendly. There's no need for you to remember all the formats. You just need to go like this. Let me show you. First of all, you need to get the app in the Red App Center. This link that we have over here will be taking you to this. As you can see here, this is a tool that is free, so we are you're free to use it. You can recommend it, and you can get it from the link. This is exactly what you will get once you click on the link. You just order it, and you will be able to see it as I see it here. Right now, I'm doing Control A in my screen. That's going to be displaying my scripts, and we search for QBOTIC. That's the tool that we are showing today. I click in OK, and as you know, the first thing the tool is doing is displaying my QC, my Q count over here. And then I want to show you a few things about it. First of all, here you need to specify the CC you are looking for. Because as you may know, you can search in your queues and in your branches. So let's say that here I want to search in queue 100. And for example, here, let's choose American Airlines. And this is an example. You can actually, I'm sorry, this is the flight number, not what I was looking for. This is the service date. That's what I was looking for. You can select a specific date or a range. What I'm doing right here is just an example. You can, for example, select agent sign, segment status code. This one I find really useful because here I'm just searching for confirmed segments with HK status. But you can also use it to search for HX, UN, TK. That's a good thing to keep in mind. And I'm also, let's say, try to search all DK number. So I have selected a few fields and I just click here. So let's say continue. Here is displaying my PNR. As you can see, what the system is doing is just creating all this long format for you, and it's like more friendly for you to see. This is basically what we are doing here with this tool. If you don't want to learn all the formats, all the long formats, and all qualifiers, you can just do it that way. It's going to be easier for you and your colleagues. This was QBOTIC. Before we move on to the next topic, I would like to check on you guys if you have any questions.
Yes, actually, in the chat we have a question from Hai, which is asking us to repeat how to display a specific queue. In his case, he's asking to display the Q9, and if
Sure,
you can show us once again how you move on from one PNR to another one with the India.
of course. So, first of all, I'm used to display the queue count, first of all, to see which queues have PNRs. One thing that I would like to mention about this, for example, we have here Q2 and Q7. It does not mean that all the queues in between, like 3, 4, 5, and 6, does not are not existent. The queues exist. The thing is, as it is just like an empty box, it won't be showing here. Here you will be displaying a list of the queues that are actually containing PNRs. So we would like to access, for example, Q9, right?
Yeah, Q9.
Like this. We just type Q, the slash, you can understand it as access, and then you just go with the Q number. We do like this, and this is going to be displaying the first PNR that I have in Q9. As you can see, we have 18 PNRs. So let's say I know there is a PNR in Q9 that I want to find, but it's not the one in my screen right now. So I just ignore this PNR and the system automatically will be displaying the next PNR for me. And so on till you reach the very end. Let's say that was the one I was looking for and I was able to reach it by just ignoring the previous PNRs. I don't know if that's clear, if you want me to repeat the procedure.
Actually, I think it's quite clear. If not, please hi, let me know. And one last thing, Hema, can we ask?
Yes,
Colin is asking us if we can do an example with a date range. He's giving us the example for Q/9, and then the date would be from the 20th of April to the 30th of April.
sure. Let's check in this. Here, as we were not able to add it in the slides, here I have the full list of the qualifiers that we can use for Q and spectral selection. Let's find the one for dates. We can use creation date, but I'm pretty sure what you're trying to search for is like the service date, right?
That's right. I am sharing also the link for the page that you are showing us there, Gema, to all of the participants in the chat.
Perfect. So as you can see here, we have this travel service. This is basically the travel date. So this is the qualifier that we will be using. We go back to Sabrre and we just do. We try to access this. And for example, let's say I want, oh, I have two crosses. Let's say I want from April to April 23rd. Let's see if that works. Make it like this, it might work. Oh, my bad. This is the one of the messages that you will get if you don't do QXI as I showed you at the beginning. So let's try to search like this. And here we are trying to access all the PNRs in Q9 that have a service date between April the 20th and April the 29th.
Perfect.
I don't know if that's
Excellent.
clear or if you have more questions about it.
No, actually, Colin, who's the one that asked that, it says that it's okay. Thank you. So, well, I think that we can move on the next topic, Gemma. If any other question arrives, maybe we can handle it at the end. So thank you very much.
Sure. Perfect. So right now we are moving to Spectras. I would like to introduce the topic with an example. A few weeks ago, I had a call from this travel agent that told me that there was a specific airport that was asking all their passengers to go into the airport wear their masks due to COVID-19. You know that most airports are requesting that, but it was one of the first airports in requesting that as mandatory. So this guy wanted to know, he wanted to have a list of all the PNRs that were originated in that airport so he can share the email, the notification with all his passengers that were traveling from that airport. This is one of the examples where you can apply Spectras. So there are a few things that I would like to clarify about Spectras. It will be just helping you to find PNRs depending on your search criteria. It will only look for active PNRs. So that means that it won't be searching for past date PNRs. Here we have another specification that you can use a maximum of 8 search criteria. The qualifiers that we use are the same ones that we use for queues. Here you can see on the top it says for queues and Spectra, we use the same ones. What I would like to tell you about this Spectra search is that it can be used for uh, two different kind of search. For example, let's say you want to find all the PNRs that contains one specific search criteria. Let's say I want to find all the PNRs, all the American Airlines PNR that I have. It can help you to find a large group of PNRs. Or, for example, if you lose a PNR, happens, you cannot find it, you don't remember the name or the record locator, but you remember a few things about it. The service dates, the carrier. It can help you either to find a large group of PNR or even one single PNR. It will depend on how many search criteria you add to it. So, that being said, we have um, the Spectre search goes back 362 days from today's date. That's basically because that's how long the system stores information. It is no more than that. It's just a restriction. So here, important thing is that you will all PCCs will have 20 free spectras per month. That means that you can start trying now. If you would like to search for any spectras, you can try now. You will have 20 for free where you can search the criteria that you prefer. In order for you to do that, if you would like to start testing it now, keep in mind that your employee profile record needs to have the keyword submanager and you cannot have this keyword. If either you are missing this one or you have this one, just try to reach someone in your agency with create capabilities who can add or delete the keywords so you can work with the spectras. So let's see. There, here we have like few steps on how to search with Spectra. There are a few things that I would like to clarify before we start. First of all, you can search in any other branch as we can see here, over here. You can search PNRs in your branch, for example, and you can also send your search results to a branch. That's really important because sometimes we think that we can only work in our PCC, but that's really useful when you work, for example, with branches or consolidators. And that's one of the things I want to share with you. Another thing that I wanted to share, I almost forgot. is on how to display how many Spectra search you have been running this month. Let me show you. Because you remember that you only have 20. So for you to know how much, in this case, we exceed the free 21. But this is how you see. Here it will be showing you how many Spectra search have you done this month. Each month, the count will restart from 0. That being said, I would like to go back here and I will be showing you an example on how to work with queues. Because honestly, as you see these steps over here, it seems more difficult than it really is. Let me show you an example. If you have any questions, just start asking in the chat at the end of the topic or the end of the presentation. I'll be asking the most I can. So here, let's say I want to do a Spectra search. But before I start, what I want to verify is that I have an empty box, an empty queue. Because for example, if I do an Spectra search and I queue place it, let's say, if I queue place my results in Q75, it will be mixed with these 4 PNRs that we already have here. I'm sorry, 75, yeah. So first of all, what I do is I just try to check for an empty queue. As I told you previously, the queues that are empty are the ones that we cannot see the number over here. So for example, I know that 79 is an empty queue. So I will be sending my results, my search results to Q79. Now let's start with the steps for the Spectra search. Those are the steps that we have here. I need to let you know that, for example, if you search for all, it will take a while. It could take a couple of seconds for the system to find all the PNRs that you have. But as much as you add more searching criteria, the system will find more specifically what you're looking for. That being said, let me just try to show you an example. Let's say I don't remember anything the PNR I lost. But what I want to know, the only thing that I remember is the DK number. But I don't remember any other thing. I just do this format. This is one of the qualifiers we saw early. And it shows me, okay, it started. From now on, the only thing I need to do in your keyboard, you will need to do Control U as in uniform. And you will be getting this response. This is this step that we have. After you do Control U, you will get the result. We have 3 PNRs. What we do with these 3 PNRs, we just do a gear jump. It's like a queue place, but for more than one PNR. Let's say it that way. So this is the format that we'll be using. This is a queue jump. That means that I want this result to be placed in this queue over here. And this is the pick code, the one that we saw earlier in the list. I want it to give me that description, the one in number 11. After I do this, it says on queue, perfect. Now let me check. I have in 79 3 PNRs, and if I access them, I get this pick of 11 that shows me C remarks. Here we have again the search criteria, as you can access them going here. And that was it. Let me know, Leandro, there are any questions regarding this or something that you would like me to repeat?
Yes, actually, we have a question in regards of the cost after the number 20. I just want to advise everyone that in in order to verify the cost for the Spectras after you exceed the 20 that are for free for your agency, you need to verify that information with your account executive since we don't have the amount and we know that sometimes the amount varies between, regarding the different contracts, right, that you have with Sabre. So we advise you to verify that information with your account executive. Um, no, and just to a comment, Gemma, maybe this is interesting for our customer. The formats that we have here in Spectra for searching the different criteria, let's say, are the same as we use when you work with queues.
Exactly. Those are the same ones. The same list that I show you here. It is the same explanation. It is too long, so we were not able to input all the information in the slides. But you can access it, and if I'm not mistaken, is this link. Yeah, is this link where you can get to all the qualifiers.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much.
Another
I
thing
don't
that
have,
I would like
yeah,
to mention, I'm really sorry to interrupt you. Here
no,
we
go ahead.
saw that you can combine a maximum of 8 search criteria. Let me show you a little bit about this. Here, as you can see, the first one goes with um, with a cross of Lorraine. But for example, here we have two search criteria, two qualifiers, and you need to separate them using a slash. At the beginning, you just after the QK, you use a cross of Lorraine to introduce the first search criteria. But then for the second, third, and so on, you need to separate them with a slash.
Perfect.
Do we
Yeah,
have any other questions?
that's a good point, Gemma, to bear in mind. So thank you. No, I don't have any more questions here on the chat. So yeah, you can go on in the following topic.
Perfect. So here we are starting with the unused e-ticket report. This is like your regular sales report, the DQB that you most of you should be used to work with. The difference between this one and your regular DQB is that this one is only showing you PNRs that the last date of travel was 5 days ago. So let me show you an example in here. I'm in queue. There we go. So I would like to show you an example. I have two reservations in here. We have this first reservation that the date of travel, the last date of travel in the ticket was April the 22nd. It was more than 5 days ago, so this one will show up in your unused ticket report. Take into account that it will show up if the status of the coupons in the ticket remain open. What this unused ticket report is trying to show you is that it's trying to show you the unused tickets that you have that were not flown, not exchanged, not refunded. So this one will qualify to be in our DQB. Now, let's say, let me show you another reservation. Okay, there we go. And here we have a reservation where the last segment was for yesterday. I know that this ticket, this one, no, this one was exchanged. I'm sorry. I know that this ticket has a last date of travel previous than today's date, but it is not more than 5 days before. That means that this ticket, this PNR, is not gonna be showing up in our unused ticket report because even if it was is an unused ticket that has past date from today, we need to wait that 5 days period. That was just an example I wanted to share with you guys. Here, the use ticket report is one tool or option that needs to be activated in your DJR. Here, I share with you the formats for you to check it if it is on in your PCC, in your agency. If you want to activate it, you need to have keywords of manager and duty code 9. Sometimes you just need to S as in Sierra, I as in India, number 9, and enter. As we can see here, then you just on to the format to turn it on, and that's enough. Another thing to say is that there's another 5 days period. That, for example, if I activate this today, I won't have a list of unused tickets tomorrow. I will have it 5 days from today. So if I start now, let's say it will be on the 4th or the 5th, May the 5th, it will be available. It will start working that day. Another thing to keep in mind, if you don't use this for 30 days, it will be deactivated. Why is that? It's because the system is generating a report that contains information that if the system understands that you're not using that information, it will stop generating it. It's simple as that. And then obviously if you deactivate it, when you reactivate it, the 5 period day will run and start all over again. If you have questions on how to activate it or deactivate it, here you have the link so you can access that information. As we were seeing before, this we also have qualifiers. So this is the regular format that you use to display the unused ticket report, but you can also add a few search criteria. Here, for example, you can use DK number, you can use specific dates, you can use carrier code. For example, I want to know, let's say that I want to know all the unused tickets I have with one specific airline that right now is authorizing refunds. Let's try to think about possibilities that we can use nowadays. We know that some airlines are not refunding and some days refunded tickets. So let's say that today I get a response from an airline that they are authorizing to refund tickets, and I want to know, and I want a list of all the unused tickets I have with that specific carrier, so I can refund or exchange them or just perform any action. Here is also the same thing. You can find more information in the link below. And I think that's pretty much it. Here, there's a tool that we would like to share with you guys. This is actually a Red app. You can go here to find it. And once you install it, you just go to Tools, Air, and you find Unused Ticket Exporter. Why is this useful for you? It's because you can open it here, you just try to search for that report, and you can export that information. CSV is a regular Excel file. You can use it as an Excel. It will be generating an Excel file with these options over here. It will be showing you this. And here we'll be showing you the list of all the unused tickets that you have. As you can see here, it will be stored as a CSV, and you will be able to open it and manage that information as you find it more useful. I would like to know if there are questions about this before moving to the next topic.
Yes, actually, Colin is asking us if there's a way to see all opened status tickets that will be expired in 13 month validity. Actually, this is the function of the DQB unused ticket report, right?
Yes, actually, there are a few things I want to clarify about this. For most airlines, the ticket validity is 13 months, but keep in mind that not for all of them. So if you're thinking about a specific airline or any specific ticket, please double check with the carrier the validity because that sometimes happens that because most of them have a 13 months validity. Within that, for all of them is the same, but there are just a few of them that are not sharing that. Some of them use 12 months and some of them 14 months. And I'm sorry, I'm not talking a little bit more about the topic. Going back to the topic. Yes, this report will show you that. Will show you the open tickets that you have. But keep in mind always the 5 day period. If it was a ticket, as I showed you in Saver, if it was a ticket that has an open segment, but the last date of travel was yesterday, it won't show up. It the will be only showing up where the last date of travel is more than 5 days ago. I know if that clarifies the question. If it does not, please let me know so I can clarify the question.
Perfect. Yeah, I have Albert is also asking us how to see all open ticket, and actually this is the way, as you just explained, always bearing in mind that the last date of travel is the one that is being considered, and it has to be 5 days ago. So
Exactly.
those are excellent tips, Gemma. Um, Let me see. Mary Spellan is asking us regarding this is a general question actually, but since you mentioned the decay number, can you explain to her what is a decay number?
The ticket number is something, let's understand this as a client number. It helps you a lot, for example, with when you send information to your back office system. Let's say I'm a travel agent and I have regular customers, so I assign them a DK number. It's like a client number for my agency, and it helps you to match the information in your back office system. It is
Perfect.
not a frequent flyer and it's not a client ID. It is just an agency number. For example, I know that this Allen, I created the PNRs with the DK test 22. That's how I remember him. Let's say he's a frequent client, so I remember him under his DK number.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Gemma. Just want to remind all the participants that all the red apps that we are showing here can be downloaded and are for free. However, in order to download it, you need to have a specific rights, right? That you have to have downloading rights in your profile. So you will need to search for the supervisor or administrator in your agency to download these apps through the to your PCC.
Exactly. So
And our one last question before we go on to the next topic, Gemma, is Hi is asking us for the format to view a DQB with date range and which is the maximum date.
here, let me just share with you. It was over here. Here we have a specific date. This is for DQB and use ticket report. If you want to search for dates for regular DQB, you can also find that information in Finder. It works pretty much the same way. You can use a specific date or you can use a range. Here, actually, there's not a specific maximum of days. The things that it will always be less than 362. Let's
Uh,
say you cannot go back because the system won't search like for previous year. So for example, if you want to find all the tickets that were issued between one day and the other, you can use months, but no more extend that. Anyway,
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure that this unused ticket report has a limit. I was talking about specific search. If I'm not mistaken, it is 180 days, but I can confirm that information to you via email if that's okay for you.
Sure. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry to interrupt, Leandro. And always
sure.
keep in mind that you won't be able to search from previous dates to the day that you activated this report because the system was not generating that information before.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And just a comment from Mansoor. He noticed that Barry Allen is a Flash. So just a,
Yes,
a comic comment. Thank you. You can go on, Gemma. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Okay, so here this is the tool that we just reviewed. If you have any questions about this, you can let me know now or at the end of the presentation. Now, there's another tool that I would like to share with you guys. I try to think about this as if I were a travel agent. I would love to have this tool. It's really useful and it's really easy to use. Let me show you. Here we also go Control A and we do this red up. Let me show you that. Another good thing about this is that this one is also for free, so you can get it, you can try it, and probably you will get used to it easily because it's easy to use. So here we go to the red app. I just did Control A so I can access this window over here. I just click in here and I will be getting a script. So let's say I want to I would like to search for a range from this date to this other range. Let's say, for example, from the 20th to the 23rd. Oh, I'm closing. Sorry. Let me start all over again. So I go Control A. I just go to the sales report. Keep in mind that this is the regular report, like the DQB, but you can use it here. Let me know if you're following my steps or if you have more questions about it. Here there are a few filters that you can use. You can use Asian sign, you can use airline, let's say. But the most important thing that I want to show you about this is that if you click here in settings, you will have a list of columns that you will have in your report. What this tool is doing, this tool will grab the information from your sales report and will export it to an Excel file or CSV or HTML. But here you can select the columns that you will be having in your file. So let's say I want to add tour code or any other class of service departure date, or you don't want it to show up the currency code, or you don't want to show up the ticket total. There are a lot of combinations that you can find. So once you select the columns that you would like your report to show, you just click and save or go back. And here, that's one of the options that you have. In the other hand, I would like to show you that you can select the language and you can select the file type. Here, I'm just using HTML because it's actually faster. And let me show you this option that is the Express report. As you can see, this one is not letting you select any other advanced settings or language. It will be just searching for the Express report. Let me show you how it is done. Just click in the start scanning and it will be doing, as you can see here, what, what the tool is doing, it is just doing the DQB formats for all the dates you specified and it's getting all that information so it can be exported. As you can see, it is taking a look at regular DQB, That means where you issue the tickets. It is also checking for refunds. It is also checking for EMDs. And right now you will get this response. This is more or less how you will be seeing that report. You have also the option to open it in Excel so you can have this in another type of file. It is really useful because there are a few back office systems that allow you to export the information in Excel. So if you would like to compare, it is easier for you to have Excel and the other to combine the Sabrre Excel and your back office system Excel instead of having the host through an Excel or the Sabrre host through another application. I know perhaps I was too far in this one. Let me know if you have questions about it.
Actually, I don't have any questions over the chat, so I think that we can go ahead with the last topic. Before we go on, I would like to let everyone know that we are a little bit past the 45 minutes of session. So if you can stay to see this last topic, I really appreciate it. If you are not able to stay, don't worry. We are gonna well share with you the recording session so you can review it afterwards. So thank you very much. And well, you can continue, Gemma.
Sure. I'm sorry about the timing. I promise this is the last topic. This is a tool called Automated Schedule Change. This is actually, let's say the airline is asking you to process an even exchange, and you don't want to create the old phase 4 nowadays called enhanced PQ so you can compare the system, or you have a partially used ticket and it's a little bit harder to create an even exchange. So what this tool is doing, it is just doing the even exchange for you. I want to clarify a few things. This is not guaranteed, and this is not a tool that you can use to replace the regular WFRF, because the WFRF actually check the rules of the fair and it's guaranteed by Sabre. This one is not checking rules and is not guaranteed. So those are a few things to keep in mind. You can check the activation with this format. If you'd like to activate it or deactivate it, you can reach anyone in your account team. They will be able to assist you on that. Here it was mentioned in one of the benefits is that you don't have to store the fare, for example, in a PQ. Here, that's really important. Those are the qualifiers that you can add. Those are the only qualifiers that are permitted. And let me show you this. We keep on working with Flash. And this is a video. That's the most important thing I wanted to show you about. We are used to do WFR and display a mask, but WFRX does not display any kind of mask. So it is really important that you add the qualifiers in that first entry. As you see here, it is automatically processing the exchange. So if you haven't added here the qualifiers that you needed, there's no room for you to do it later. It won't be displaying a mask as we are used to see with WFR or WFRF. So keep in mind to use all these qualifiers before you do the entry. And here, this is the response that you get when you do it. No mask at all. And a few things is that this tool automatically adds the S at the beginning of the fare calculation and it adds schedule change in the endorsement. And even exchange accounting line, it's going to be created. This is going to be an even exchange. And but because sometimes the airline asks you to add, for example, this, the S at the beginning of the fare calculation. And this tool automatically does that for you. I'm sorry to take so much of your time. Let me know if you have questions about this last topic.
Well, I don't see any questions on the chat, Gemma, but I would like to ask you just to advise our customers that does this tool, the schedule change tool, has a cost? How can we uh, activate it? Can you remind that to our customers one more time?
Sure. To activate it or deactivate it, you need to reach your account executive or account team. It might have a cost, but it will depend on contract agency. It Those are fares and things that we from the help desk we don't manage. I know that it might be a cost about for this tool, but honestly, I don't have that information. If you want to know how much it would cost, I would recommend you to reach your account team and check that with them. I don't want to tell you if it is costing some money or not because honestly, I don't have that information, but they will be able to assist you further. And also, they are the ones who can activate it for you, so they can do both things.
Perfect. Yeah, actually, Gemma, the if as far as I know, this particular tool works in the same way as automated exchanges. Automated exchanges has a cost per transaction. I believe this tool also has the same logic. Um, and but this, as Gemma was saying, needs to be verified with the account executive for being to receive an accurate information. And I don't have further questions here on the chat, but what I want to advise all the participants is that this session is being recorded, and we are gonna deliver the session along with the PowerPoint presentation with the links that you have just seen, so you can well work with them after the session ends. Gemma, I really appreciate your time presenting these topics to our customers. So thank you very much. It was very useful.
It was a pleasure, Leandro. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to let us know. And I hope you all are safe and being well during these hard times. If you need any other assistance, please feel free to contact the help desk. We will be glad to help you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Gemma. And before we end our session, I would like to, well, as I previously mentioned, I would like to show you how to access the training session. Okay, so let me share my screen one last time. As I was mentioning, Colin, before, we don't have a way to share our links. Okay, so in this because this is a new platform, right? We have Sabre Central. When you access Sabre Central, you will need to use the same uh, agent ID from Sabre and the same credentials, right? So once you're in Sabre Central, you will have different options, and one of them is training. Okay, once you are in training, you will be redirected to the training section. Let me see if I have it configured it correctly in English. Well, I have it here in Spanish. Let me see if I can change it to English. If not, I will show you the steps, and you can work it on your end. Perfect. Here I have it in English. Okay. So once you have reached this page, you will go to calendar. Okay. In calendar, it will take a couple of seconds, right, to load all the different topics and trainings that are available. Right now it is empty, but it should take a little bit. Okay, here we have. So in this calendar, this is the calendar for April, right? So we are already finishing April. The only training that we have here is the New Agent Module 4 Post Ticketing ARC. Okay, so you need to also take in consideration that the name applies to your region, right? You have to search for BSP or related to your topic needs. So here is April. We're gonna search for May. Let's see what we have in May. And these are the training sessions. Please remember that this is updated day by day, right? So it may vary during time, but at first, these are the trainings that we have available for May: new agent module, introduction to Sabrre, update, Sabrre 360, pricing, air extras, and those are hotel program manager, and this is the way that you can join the training. For example, if you want to go to the module one, you just click there, and then you have all the different times. You can search. Of course, you have the time zone. You need to bear in mind the time zone to select the time accordingly to your location. And finally, you click in enroll. Once you enroll, you will receive a confirmation email. You need to verify that your profile over here is up to date with your email information so you can receive this confirmation. Otherwise, it will be blank. So that's about the training. And now that we are already an hour of the session, I would like to thank all of you for your participation and your active questions over the chat. Thank you very much for your time. I will be sending the recording session along with additional material in a couple of well, hours maybe, because I need to have the recording ready. Gemma, one more time, thank you very much for your time. And for the all the participants, thank you very much. Stay safe, and we will talk again in a future event. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. You have a nice week.